Hello, everybody. Welcome to the boots painting, the fall painting. Those were my paints dropping. This is very, very different from what we usually do. Normally, it's a live broadcast where I teach you live, obviously, and you can communicate with me and talk to me. But since I'm in Ukraine, hopefully, hopefully I will be in Ukraine when you're watching this. Um, this is what I do. So I decided to pre-record all your lessons for the time being while I'm in Ukraine so that you can still have your creativity fix. And if you have any questions or comments or anything you need to ask, please don't hesitate. Put them in the comments below. I am uploading this to YouTube. So even in the YouTube comments, it will show up. It will send me notification. If you have any questions, I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I will help you to the best of my ability. Please keep in mind, though, that there is a 8 hours difference between where I am right now and where I'm going. So it might take a little bit of time. I might not be able to respond in real time. Okay, hold on just a second. I forgot to plug in my phone, and we all know what happens when Luba forgets to plug in her phone. Yeah, I lose my camera in the middle of the painting. That's not good. All right, here we go. We are all plugged in, and we can start. You can find the tracer for this painting. This is what we're going to be painting. You can find the tracer and guides in the group. It will probably called the boot or something, them boot or fall boots or something like that. I'm not really sure, but it's the boot and we're painting it. So let's begin. Okay, let me switch. Let's switch your view over to my desk so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put my reference right in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. And we will begin. So I really, really like to share a few, like what I'm using. I really like Arteza paints. I've been using them for a couple of years now. They are my favorites. So the boots are kind of leather boots. So there's lots and lots of options for browns when you go to this kind of brand. Feel free to get whatever paints you have, but I'm just going to tell you which colors I have. Some I will use, some I won't. We're going to see how it all plays together, okay? So for the boots, for the browns, I have Mars Brown, I have Raw Umber, I have Burnt Sienna, Burnt Umber, Van Dyke Brown. Then we have for the flowers, I have Mars Orange, Raw Sienna, probably somewhere in this mix. Deep yellow. I have lemon yellow for the flowers to create some contrast with all the browns and warm yellows that we have. And for our background, we're going to use just regular titanium white and phthalo blue. So this is going to be our painting. We're going to start with our background. As you can see, I have already pre-traced everything on my paper. What do I use? I use again, you see, like if you watch me painting a lot, I always forget this word. What's it called? The transfer paper that I use. It'll come back to me. Anyway, what I was going to say is that I don't use a pencil or a pen when I trace. I use a felt tip marker, and it allows me to make lines not so stark dark. So they're a little bit easier to cover with paint, but that's not the whole goal of it. Okay, so we'll figure this out as we're going. So let us bring the painting all the way up. Make sure that you can see everything that's happening on my desk. Well, at least most of it, I hope. All right, and we're gonna start with painting the background. Okay, so if you're painting on canvas or even paper, canvas gets super dry over time as it sits there in a plastic package or even without it. So what I like to do is I like to grab a big brush. Should have done a flat brush now. Hold on. Here, a big flat brush. Just put it in some clean water and just put a little bit of water um, on your surface, just to kind of seeps up water a little bit, and then it's not so thirsty, and then it won't seep up all the paint that you're using. All right. We're going to. Yes, we're going to start with the background. And my background is kind of the sky-ish thing. So I'm gonna grab some of my titanium white and a little bit, just a little bit of the phthalo blue. It really does go a long way. You really do not need much, especially if you're trying to create something that's a lighter color. So I'm gonna start with grabbing the white and I'm gonna paint right here. I know where this goes, right? So that I'm painting white, but I am not painting the boots. I'm kind of keeping to the side of the boots. So I know that this is going to be my blue background and this is where I'm putting it. Okay. And then I'm just going to put, see, this is how much phthalo blue I'm using. A very small amount. Just add to the white that you have here. Wipe off your brush and then just kind of add the brush strokes. If you don't like what you're seeing, you can add a little bit more of white to it, but just kind of make sure that your background is nicely painted and it's all covered. I'm adding a little bit more white to what I'm seeing here. I want a very light, super light background. I do not want it to be super dark. Okay. I am not too worried, too concerned about getting onto the boots here because the boots are going to get a whole lot of brown and it really is not going to show all my white on here or blue. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Just kind of, just make the background. Okay, hello. What's with the pixelated view? What happened? Okay. So I hope we're gonna be able to paint. What is going on? All right, I'm back. Okay. So if anything like this happens again, just keep watching. I have to film this using StreamYard software because I'm using two cameras at the same time. I really do not have resources to like shoot with different cameras and then edit. I tried to do it with the Matryoshka painting, which took place right before the boots. On the calendar, it's before the boots. And it just takes too much time and too much effort to do this. So anyway, just stay put. Whatever's happening on the screen, just stay put. Give me a second to figure it out. All right? Okie doke. Excuse me. Let's paint the flowers. For the flowers, we're going to start with our lemon yellow. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see. And I'm just gonna grab a flat brush, something that I feel would be a good size for what I'm doing. And I'm just going to put this base yellow on this whole thing. Don't even, not gonna worry about anything here. Oh, that's also a flower. So this whole part over here, behind the boots, above the boots. So they're kind of above and behind. Here we go. So I just looked at my calendar and I realized that by the time you're watching this, I will be back from Ukraine, but I will be on jet lag schedule. So it's better to have a recording like this because I'm not sure I will be up to doing any paintings at that moment. Okay, let's paint yellow. Let's take care of the flowers on the bottom. Don't overthink this, simply paint it. Just paint it bright yellow. It's not, not hurting anything. You can't hurt it. You cannot mess this up. Okay. There is a little bit of blue showing through over here. So if you have that, do not worry about it also, because we will be adding lots of layers to the flowers and it's gonna be just fine. All right. So just keep going. It sounds like there is a huge thunderstorm coming my way, so right now, so as I'm filming this. So if you hear thunder, that's that's what's happening. All right, here we are. Okay. Wipe your brush on the paper towel. You don't really need to clean it. Just wipe it off. Okay. And let's go ahead and put all our yellows and browns onto our palettes. So I have deep yellow that really looks like orange. I have Mars brown. Hope I don't know. Can I even remember what's what when there's so many different? I'm gonna try and put them in the same order on my other side so I know, so I can tell you what it is that I'm using. Van Dyke brown. And then we'll do raw umber. And I have another umber. Burnt umber right next to it so that it's all hopefully close by. Burnt sienna, which has red undertones to it. I love this color, it's so pretty. And then raw sienna, which is more on the golden side. There we go. And the last is Mars orange. Okay, I think I have all my colors in here. All right, we should be good. Should be good. Okay, let's grab like a number 4, number 6 round brush. We want a round brush. I'm gonna use this old one. That's number 6. It'll work just fine. And let's grab this warm yellow that is very orangey. Okay. And I'm gonna start and just going from the center like this. I'm gonna start adding the petals. Some of these petals are hiding, so we're just kind of gonna need to make like a hint. There is a petal. Doesn't need to be like here. See, they're hiding, but they're there. So we're just gonna add by smooshing the brush down. So this is the round brush, and I'm just smooshing it down and going in a circle. And then I move down to the bottom. I might need more paint. Yeah, there. I definitely need more paint. Okay, let's grab some more of this deep yellow. Okay, here. Just like that. Smoosh it and drag it over just to create a petal. Okay. There, just like that. Okay. So we have these. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use the same messy brush. Okay, and I'm gonna grab some of this. What is this? This is Mars Orange. Mars Orange. I'm gonna put it on my same brush, and I'm gonna do the same kind of. Gonna go the same direction. I'm gonna leave a little bit of space. Grab some water on my brush. It's getting super dry. So we're just adding petals, just a messy kind of looking, just like that. Just add them. Don't worry about it. See, they will look messy a little bit, but that's okay. That's our, okay, here, let's start here because that's where. So I'm trying to add them in a way so that some of that deep yellow is still showing. So it's not completely gone. Just like that. There. Okay, now we're gonna let this sit and dry. Let's clean this brush. Let's grab some of the raw sienna and just kind of, we're gonna dab, paint the inside of the flower. See, there's two circles. Well, they're not circles, they're wiggly, right? But there's two parts to it. So we're just painting the inside. I am not trying to make it look even at all. So make it as uneven as you want or as you can. Okay. All right, let's grab a little bit of this Mars orange that we just used and just add a little bit of it in the centers. Go back to it and just add a little bit of color. And then next, we're gonna grab raw umber on the brush. And we're gonna go around here and kind of fill up that circle. This is gonna look messy, very messy and ugly at first. I know. You're like, oh, now you're telling me. So what we just did, we created the background, right, for our flowers. And so next, once this is dry, we'll go back with more color and we'll add more layers. But the thing is that these flowers, they are a background, right? They're not the center of our painting. They're not the focal point. So yeah, we're gonna paint them, but we're gonna give most of our attention to them boots. Okay. Oh, here's one more. I missed it somehow. And then there's some petals that I missed, so I'm just gonna grab some of this Mars orange and go back and add it in. There we go, something like that. Okay, flowers are gonna sit for a while now. We're gonna need a flat brush next. Okay, and so now you need to decide what you're gonna paint your boots. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this center part of my boot, and I'm gonna paint it this dark brown that we just used, which was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, raw umber. So I'm just using raw umber, a little bit more water on my brush, and I'm just gonna paint this part of my boot right here, the first one. Be careful, don't put your hand on your flowers. So I'm just painting the part over here. That's the front part. I don't know what the least parts of the boots are called. So this very front part, this one. I'm not painting the back because the back is going to be a different color a little bit. It's all about, I think painting these boots is all about using different shades of brown for different parts, and then it all comes together. So here we go. So this is the first part that I've painted. Okay, now the second, next, I'm gonna paint the back over here, this part over here. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of this Van Dyke brown to the side, and I'm gonna grab more of this raw umber that I already used. And I'm gonna mix them together. So I'm gonna get just a slightly darker color. And this way all of these parts are gonna look like they're done with different kinds of leather or um, like a different dye. I really don't know enough to tell you how these boots are made, but we can totally use paint to show the difference. Okay, so let's bring it up here, up closer, so you can see the variation in the shades. Yeah, it's hard to see because it's a little bit glary, but we can do this. Okay, so a little bit more of this Van Dyke brown, a little bit more of raw umber, and we're gonna paint this other boot. Middle section. It shouldn't look too different, but the way the boots are sitting next to each other, I'm sure the light hits them a little bit differently, right? So just, yes, I do use my flat brush. I kind of bring it to the flat tip, and that allows me to go around these lines nicely like that. If this is something that you're not comfortable doing, maybe you could use a round brush, like a small round brush, like do your outline and maybe then paint. But I would just do it with a flat brush, just like this. Okay. Okay, so here's our second or third part that we've painted. Okay. So let's see. For this part over here, we're gonna grab more of this raw umber. This is what we're gonna need. And so I'm just using the same messy brush. And I'm just gonna paint around this decorative part. I'm gonna leave it white. I wonder if I messed you up with the colors that I'm calling out here. Darker brown. This is what I'm doing. I think I might have. Yeah. So I just want you guys to try and use your colors the best you can. You don't have to. Yeah, so long as there is some variation in the points where the boots meet, so that you can see the difference, and then So see, I just use a tip of my brush to outline. the decorative element. And then I use the flat to paint it. There we go. All right. Okay. Okay, wipe down that brush just on a paper towel. Okay. Grab some of this raw sienna. Well, maybe, probably all of it, and maybe add some more to it if that's what you have. So we're gonna use this color to paint the this part over here, the top part. So let's grab some raw sienna and let's just paint it right here. Okay. There we go. All right. This is kind of takes a lot of focus, right? Going around these cutouts, the decorative. There we go. Mm. There we go. So again, if you're not comfortable doing this with a flat brush, just use your round brush. But I must tell you that flat brush is probably your best bet to get this done nicely. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's one. Okay, and then for this boot, the one that's in the back, for the same part, I'm gonna grab a little bit of this warm yellow or deep yellow, and I'm just gonna add it to my raw sienna. It will just add like a little bit of a different color, a little bit of a hint. Okay, so it will still look the same color, but it will also look like it's a different boot because of how like the light hits it differently a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna back up here and just bring this whole boot thing up like that. Okay. I'm gonna wipe down the brush on a paper towel, and I'm gonna use the same messy brush. And I'm going to go back to this darker brown that we have over here, and I'm gonna add little lines going down on where I think they're called bootstraps. Just on those, just on the strap, just like this. Okay. And then where it ends, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the shade over here, just to just to show it off a little bit. All right, let's keep using the same. We're using the same brush. You see, I didn't even wash it. I just put some water on here, a little bit more water. We're still with this raw sienna. So, some people like black liners in their boots. Some people like other things in their boots. I'm just gonna go and grab some of this lemon yellow and mix it in with this sienna, raw sienna that we have. I think this will work for us. So I'm just gonna paint the liner. So yeah, painting these boots is a lot of playing with different shades of the same colors, because you want to make it look a little bit different. Okay, now I'm going to make this a little bit darker for the boot that's in the back. For this one, there. Okay, and now I want to use the color very close to the color that we used on the top. So maybe add some more brown to this. No, maybe that's too dark. Oh, that's too much. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna mix a little bit of raw sienna. Go back to original raw sienna with Mars orange. There, here, like this. And this is gonna give us the color that, yes, I want that. Something warm and nice. Again, you can use your choice of colors. Okay, so sometimes they make the heel over here, they make a different color than the rest of the shoe or the boot. I don't know, like this part over here, they'll make it this color, and then the rest of it goes, a different color. So decide what you like to do. I'm just gonna I'll have this whole thing one color, this whole part. There, like that. Okay, some water. There, just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea what the color that is. I think it's the raw umber. So I'm gonna put a little bit more, a little bit of raw umber in this mix. I want to make it a little bit darker, just a tiny bit darker for the second boot, so that they're not the same color. Although they will look like they are the same color. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, let's wash out the brush and grab some of this Van Dyke brown. Super dark. And let's paint this part of the heel over here. And the sole of the shoe. So there is this little triangle on there. Don't paint it. Just do this piece here. Okay. Okay. My doggo's dreaming something. I don't know if you can hear him. Okay, here we go. There is the sole of the shoe, of the boot. Here. And we can also do the same color to the other one because we can hear. That's fine. Okay. And I'm gonna wipe the brush off on the paper towel, and I'm gonna grab some of this raw umber, just some of raw umber on my brush, and I'm gonna use it to paint this inside of the heel. You can paint it lighter color if you like. Something like that. Okay, let's go back to this raw umber. Let's fill up the brush with raw umber and go ahead and paint the bootstraps that are on the inside of our boot. So we do not want to, there, just like this here. And here. Okay. Okay, let's grab with the same messy brush, let's grab some of this Van Dyke brown again. Oh, I'm out. I'm gonna grab more of this Van Dyke brown. Whoopsie daisy, right here. And I'm gonna use the same messy brush. So just kind of, yeah, that's good. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of shading right here, on the boots. Right here. And then here in the back. And then over here. I'm just going back and forth with my brush like this, up and down, or side to side. A little bit of scuffing on the side, if you want it. Some over here. Let me see. Yes, some darker mark over here. Some bootstrap. Let's see, maybe. Yes, and a little bit more right in here. Just to add some shading to the boots. There. Something like that. I'm rinsing the brush. And I'm switching to a smaller round brush. We're gonna start working on our embellishments on the boots. So for that, we're gonna need white, which is we have right here. Just adding some water to it. Needs to be, I like it, ice cream consistency for this kind of work. We need more water. You can always use an eyedropper or a little spray bottle to make this process easier. Okay, good. Looking good. I'm gonna grab a little bit of yeah, you know what? I was lying to you about the color because I wasn't counting this one. Oopsie daisy. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I hope you forgive me for that. Okay. So apparently I've been using burnt umber for everything, not raw umber. Okay, I told you I will get confused with all the paints here. Too many different colors, but you got the idea, right? With the darks and the lights and like all of that. Okay, so let's get some burnt sienna and add it to this white. I'm trying to get it, yes, I'm gonna need it like apricot tone. So this was plenty, and now I'm gonna add a little bit of this lemon yellow. I can grab some, and I think this should take me to where I want it. So this is for the stitching. You can do the white stitching, you can do black stitching, you can do whatever makes you happy. Okay. This is not apricot. This is more like a yellowish pistachio, but I think it'll be a good, I keep adding water to this. It'll make a good stitch color for this. Okay. So this is a little bit different from my reference, I noticed, because in my reference, I didn't do this part different. So we're just gonna go ahead and play with it and see what's gonna happen. So I'm just using this super light kind of yellow. I'm gonna paint this decorative part first. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And now I'm gonna use this brush and we're gonna start creating the stitching. So we're gonna go all the way from the top and just following the contour, the line of the boot. Okay. And then we're gonna follow this decorative part over here. Okay. Then this goes across the strap, across the strap. This goes down and up a little, around and around. Okay. Okay, definitely goes around here and around here. Okay. Goes down here and down around this part. Part 2. It's the same for the boot. Let's see. Okay, and sometimes there is stitching done right on, like along the thing over here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more color to this part over here to just kind of make it happen. Okay, now we're gonna add small stitch following this part here. I keep doing this here and under. All right. So here we go. Now let's add a little floral design. Goes pretty much over here in the middle. So we're gonna put a little circle like this with stitching, okay? And then this one gets that too. And we're gonna add that little flower. And this one needs a little flower because they are same kind of boot, right? So it kind of makes sense to have the same design. Then you kind of add these sharp point petals. And then it kind of disappears. And on this side too. Okay, and then another row of the same thing. Okay, so yeah, you guys do get to hear too. You get to hear what my kids are doing. So, okay, here we go. All right, and so then we use small strokes to fill this in so it looks like it was sewed in. All right, so we just keep working. All right, so we'll just keep adding. Okay, so you just use tiny strokes, make them straight so it looks like embroidery. Okay, and then you're gonna have this part. So we'll just keep going. There, like that. And then here. Hey, too much paint. Like that. Okay. Now we're gonna repeat the same design over here on this side. So here's the flower on the bottom in the middle. So here's the flower, the center. And here's the petals. And again, and again. And then we add these kind of in here. Just kind of make it look like a stitch there. Okay, so like for this, for example, for this shoe, there really isn't much to show, but for this one, there's a little bit more. So we'll just add that. And we'll fill in the flower with our embroidery looking stroke. Okay, and then like that. That's probably, yeah. Something like this. Okay, and then we can add some swirls to this. So you kind of can start in there and just kind of fill this up with the swirls. If you're not comfortable doing swirls freehand, I strongly recommend grabbing a piece of chalk maybe and just kind of creating your swirls with chalk before you would try and do this. The secret to swirls is to make them round at every point. So yeah, definitely try and use chalk for this. All right. And I lost my... Ay, ay, ay. Let's see. Let's move it around a little bit. So I hope what you see is not pixelated. It is what I get here. Okay, let me try maybe again. Focus the camera again. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let the boots dry and we're gonna work on those flowers now. We're not done with them. I'm rinsing out my round brush. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use more of this lemon yellow, more of deep yellow, and most likely white. I'm just gonna put it down here because I'm running out of space. Okay. All right, let's work on these flowers now. Let's grab the round brush that we used for the flowers before, and let's add right on top of the petals that we already have. But now we can start painting over the boots, okay? So we're just gonna start adding bright petals, and we're gonna do, let's kind of do like every other flower at first, so that they can dry a little bit so that we can overlap. Okay, so here we go. All the way around every other. Okay, so see, I'm just going right on top of that bud. That's fine. Just long, messy kind of looking petals. Okay, gonna go again to some, just add more color. There we go. There we go. It's in my purse on the door, guys. In one of the pockets, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So adding a little bit more of this yellow to make the flowers. Okay. Let it sit just for a minute. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the same messy brush, and I'm gonna get some of this deep yellow that's more like orange, and I'm gonna add shorter petals in between those bright lemon yellow petals. Oh. Here, I'm just gonna put them right in between, and I'm making them shorter. Okay. All right. And now I get more of this lemon yellow. Same messy brush, not even changing anything. Grabbing some of this lemon yellow and going into the petals, into the flowers, that we haven't done yet. So we're just doing the petals for them and adding somewhere, like if you see a spot and you're thinking, oh, it needs a petal, just put it in. Just, yeah. Just painting flowers. Okay. Okay, same messy brush, a little bit more of this deep yellow. Deep yellow. Back in between those petals that we just added. Lots of petals here. Don't overthink it. Might get a little bit heavy on paint, but that's okay. Okay. So now you can use a maybe a Q-tip, and I'm gonna need my round. It's called a stencil brush, but I never use it for stencils. I only use it for my like flowers when I need to make the centers. So it's flat, it's round, it's old. It works. Okay, so I'm gonna make this wet, and I'm gonna take all the water, max whatever I can take off, on the paper towel, and I'm gonna dip it into one of the browns I have here. I think this is burnt sienna. It's kind of on the red side. And I'm gonna offload the brush. I don't want much paint on it, so I'm gonna offload it, and I'm gonna start going into the circles, into the centers of my flowers with this brush, creating the centers for my flowers. Maybe a little bit more paint. Don't overthink it. This is like the flowers are not the center of this painting, right? Here. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some darker, whatever I have on here, offload, and add it to my flowers. Do not overthink. Just go dab, 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 and leave. Okay? Don't try to make it perfect. Okay, now even darker, whatever it is I could find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's all umber. I might be lying to you. But yes, add a little bit of that to your centers. Don't make them too dark because they will attract a lot of attention. Okay. Wipe that off. Grab some of this light yellow that we created for the seams. Same messy brush, so see how it kind of blended in a little bit. Back into a little bit. Just a little. So I'm just adding color, layering, pretty much. Let's get more of this reddish. What was that reddish? Raw umber? No, not raw umber. Burnt sienna, probably. Burnt sienna. And add it on top of this lighter that we just put in. See? Just kind of add layers of color. Just layers of color. Okay. And now we're gonna grab some white and we're gonna create some highlights with the small round brush. So we're gonna add some water to the white so that it's workable. Just on your round brush. And we're gonna go back and we're gonna define some of the petals. Not, nothing super hard. Just kind of add parentheses to some of the petals. Okay? So that it's not all, because it's all like there is a lot going on here. And by doing so, we define that this is where you look, right? This is what's going on. It is a flower, it does have petals. So this is how I do this. Just add a little bit of white to the petals. And choose, like if there is an overlap, then choose which flower is gonna have the white. What's more important? All right, here we go. There's another. So yeah, I don't overthink this. This is fun the way it is, I think. Okay? Now rinse off. Okay, use the other side of your brush. Pick up some white paint. Needs to be much thinner than what I have. So I just add a little bit of water to it. Dots. Okay, and I'm just gonna add a few dots to my sunflowers. Something like that. There we go. And I think this is our painting. What you can also do, if you would like to, you can grab some more white paint and you can just add like this, the wispy white thing to kind of show off the boots a little bit more. There. All right, so this is our painting. All right, let me rinse my brush, because if I don't, I will forget to do that. Move this off a little bit. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna peel off the tape because this is the best way, I think, to see what really is happening on your painting when that big tape. I hope. Nope, don't mess up the new shirt. Okay, when the tape comes off and you can actually see the final result. So here we are, super excited that you could join me today. Here it is. Here it is. All right. Do not forget that we have October Arts and Crafts 7-day workshop coming, and some of the things that we'll be painting are these. And then I will also be sharing some other stuff. So keep your eyes peeled. It is definitely in your email, and it will be on the page and in the group. And I can't wait to get back to doing lives with you. Probably the next one is going to be a live. I think this is the last one, recorded one. So I will see you next time. Bye.